So, Chris, you're fixing the guitar that you made for Jason? Is that what you're doing?
In my very first round of trying to pretend like I know how to make guitars.
That's number 11, also known as the BLA for Bike Lock Assassin.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, Jason. Do you name your guitars?
I don't. Jerry named that one for me.
I named it because I thought I was being very funny.
It's still to this day very funny. I got in a fight outside the Red Pepper in Grand Forks and hit a guy in the head with a bike lock, one of those U-type bike locks. So I earned the nickname Bike Lock Assassin. The guy didn't die, otherwise I probably would be standing here. But yeah, so Jerry sent me a guitar out of the blue, and he just asked, what kind of body style do you like? I said like Telecasters, and boom, showed up in my door.
When I was first trying to teach myself how to make guitars, I was just like, well, I've got a lot of friends who play guitars. I should just make everyone a guitar, and by the time I'm done, I might sort of know what I'm doing.
That's good.
You brought it back to the factory.
Yep. This is a lifetime warranty.
Stepped out the jet, headed down to get the luggage. Making hella assumptions, run about to check the punches, scrape the back. African bacon, the pace of the whip. I'm good lately, mood changing like two ways I split. Casual in the Malibu, down the avenues over south. I'm in this with confidence, I gotta quit holding doubts. Like, I'll be home by 8 if I start going now. Or I can hit the chat line and find another show in town. Now scratch that, this hatchback don't make it. Picture statements in the driver's seat, I'm switching seats in. Fueled up, got 2 cups, the coffee was hot. Wondering Mother Earth gon' ever stop me or not. Lost in my sloppy on releases all the way until I'm exiting. I made this someone winning, baby, they fulfill my destiny. Talking about spot, have a moment. Every time I make it home, feel like I'm the next to be. Sticking to my tendencies, soul seems so hollow. Arriving time, short drivers ask if I can follow. Hit the stack, bend it back, wavy sets Fargo. Tell myself rest up, I'll be on the same thing tomorrow. For now, I'm lounging, it's time to unwind. We all gotta do it sometimes, come find me. I'm chilling, I got nothing to lose. I made it back out a minute before I got something to do. Woo! I'm lounging, it's time to unwind. We all gotta do it sometimes, come find me. I'm chilling, I got nothing to lose. I made it back out a minute before I got something to do. Something to do, something to prove. Get up on the camp, now I'm making the news.
I'm Jason Lay. Yes, for music, I've been in Straphanger for 25 years now. We play off and on when we can. I play with Brian Schill and Isaac Turner. We're from Grand Forks, North Dakota. And we make loud music.
The last time Straphanger played was 2017, which is 5 years ago.
How'd the first Straphanger practice go in 5 years?
Good, loud, super loud, way louder than I ever remember us being. I'm in a million bands, and it's the loudest one, and it was really, really fun. I hope Brian and Jason liked it.
First practice in 5 years, yeah, it went okay. Again, better than I thought it was going to be quite honest, because my guitar player doesn't ever practice.
Do you think you got a good handle on it?
Yes and no. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff to remember how to play. So here's the thing: our newest song is 11 years old, and so some of the songs that we're playing, like tonight or what, these 4 shows that we're doing, the songs are 25 years old. There's a little bit of like, how's that one go? What's the name of that one? And okay, so that's but it'll be all right.
I think it's going to be 3 dudes who really love playing music together, playing some old songs, and I think it'll be cool.
It's been fun, which is the main thing. You obviously want to do well. You don't want to make a bunch of mistakes, but mistakes will be made. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Play loud and fast, and no one will notice.
Exactly, loud and fast, and that's so we're here. Maybe this is evident outside of the aquarium in Fargo, North Dakota, right now. And this will be the first show we played live in front of people in 5+ years, and so we're a bit anxious, but it'll be fun.
In the movie, you expressed, we'll just say, disdain towards playing in Fargo.
I've never, ever, ever, ever liked playing Fargo, North Dakota.
Do you have anything you would like to add or subtract from your previous statement?
Never once played a good show in Fargo, North Dakota, ever in my life. That town, fucking jump off a cliff.
I spend a lot of time here because my lovely in-law, my sister-in-law lives here, and my niece and nephews, and so I'm here a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't change a fucking word.
It is fucking built on an Indian burial ground or some shit. It is fucking cursed land.
This is cursed land, and I wish I could have one of those things that ninjas have. You could go and drop it and disappear, but I can't leave you guys in the lurch. So, nope.
So Dan, show number 1.
In the books, there were 6 bands, but still about 30% of the show was just the sound guy attempting to sound guy stuff.
Yeah, those vocals.
I actually shout a lot more when I'm actually singing. Is that? Should I
Yeah, why don't you give me a shout? Like how?
Ah!
Whoa.
I think that when people have the opportunity to learn a job, it's good that we give them that opportunity, but that doesn't help you as the performing musician when the person learning their job is running sound for you.
On a 6-man bill.
On a 6-man bill. Yeah, that was a harsh toke.
It didn't sound good in the room, but it also didn't sound good on stage.
I need about twice or 3 times as much guitar. I cannot fucking hear you at all.
Okay. We need some guitar in that monitor.
Fargo.
That monitor doesn't.
I got nothing. Well, it may be on, but nothing is coming out of it. Both could be true.
Couldn't hear a damn thing. Absolutely could not. Every band got asked to turn down. Yeah, Straphanger doesn't do well quiet, and neither does Future Living or Bismarck.
The sound was consistently bad. It wasn't like he was vindictively punishing us. It was all bad, all night long, and the bands were fairly quick at changing over, especially the last 3 who all used the same gear, and still there would be, let's say, 10 minutes of, could you do, could I get the guitar on the one side?
Making strides to 45! Taking strides to 45! Is that working?
Could I get tom number 1 and tom number 2? I'm like, they're not numbered. They're not numbered. Then he's like, do you guys know the fist thing? And I was like,
I don't know where this dude learned this from like what college of rock he went to where he picked this up. But yeah, usually if like you're running sound, you're like, okay, tell me when you have enough or if that's too much. And he kept saying, all right, do you guys know the fist thing? Which was what he called this, and then doing this when it was good, which we've all done in some capacity, but I've never heard it called that.
and he's like, yeah, you know, that if you want it louder, you do this. And if you want it lower, you do this. And I was like, where does the fist part come in?
And then he did not like all of the jokes we made about the fist thing either.
Did he catch us making fun of him?
Yes, he did. He totally caught me making fun of it, and he did not like that.
I just, the entire night was just doing this the entire time. My monitor's broken. Can I get anything in any monitor ever? And the answer's no.
So that was the fist thing. And it wasn't like it mattered, because at the end of the day, Future Living had a 25-minute changeover between bands, which I don't know how that's humanly possible. And I think we actually sounded worse after the sound check than before we actually, before he started telling us to adjust levels, which is kind of amazing.
I think Jason said it best. He said, I would rather maybe have had a dickhead who was really good at his job versus a super nice guy who was learning. So,
is there like a beef between y'all and folks in Fargo?
Oh yeah, is there beef?
No, there's no
Is there scene beef?
Good.
No beef. No beef.
Good.
No beef.
There should
So
be.
Straphammer.
One
I
left.
just did it. Straphanger is next.
Straphammer.
I did it.
Straphammer burglar.
And then the Bismarck. What a pleasure. What a delight.
So Anne from Future Living had a slip on stage. She called Straphanger Straphammer.
What happened was that I was excitedly encouraging everyone to stay for Straphanger.
You know, you're on stage, you're like, oh, we want to thank the other bands. And of course, there's 6 bands. And they're like, she was like, oh, I want to thank Rigby and, you know, whatever, and this and this.
And yet, in my excitement, my delivery was ham-fisted, and I said Straphammer, and then I couldn't stop saying Straphammer.
And then, of course, vultures just descended.
And now that she did it, now I'm doing it, like, unconsciously. And that just ended up being a thing for the night. And honestly, for the rest of the tour, it's probably going to be a thing for the rest of the tour.
And then I believe that turned into Strap Hamburger and Strap Hamburglar.
Hey, thanks everybody. We are Strap Hamburglar from Grand Funk in North Dakota.
And now I'll never put it down.
And after us is Straphanger.
Straphammer burglar.
Maybe if we make another album, we'll call it Straphammer. Like Straphangers, Straphammer. So.
Grand Forks show, how'd that go?
It's fantastic.
Grand Forks was a trip. Love the scene. A lot of energy in that scene.
All right, 10-band bill, which is a dream anyway. And then the opening band, 2 young people, drum and guitar, really repetitive lyrics. The songs were You Gave Me Blue Balls, but that was their opener. And then I drank a slushy, a cherry slushy. It tasted like cherry. It was good. I drank a slushy. I drank a slushy. I drank a slushy. And then I put my dog down. So there was like they buried the lead on that one. There was a little twist.
And really, it felt like 4 separate shows crammed into one day.
We got to play with everything Grand Forks had to offer. Some of it was delightful.
No, actually, the real highlight of that show was Elliot B. Because he was there.
This song is written for him.
You stay right there. When he was a baby. He's 21 now.
And he looks just like his father. I used to get really, really, really drunk with his dad.
And Straphanger, you know, played the song, and I think the dudes had a moment. Like Jason looked like he had a moment where he was just like, oh god, and it was really sweet, and that was really touching, and that was something that could only happen there.
Thanks, Elliot. You inspired our radio-friendly hit.
We also went to Red Pepper, and that was just an absolutely confounding sandwich that, like, I'm still confused by. Like, I don't know if it was good or what. It was just, I think it was like a really good sort of like metaphor for the musical part of the day, which was there was a lot going on. I'm really not sure what was happening, but I think I had a good time. I think I have a soft spot for Grand Forks. I get it. Like, you know, I live in a suburb, and you kind of have to you play where you can, and sometimes those bands are just kind of goofs or whatever. I am 100% on Team Grand Forks. I think Grand Forks is great.
Goddamn right.
If that opportunity presents itself, I will be there again. If someone would be like, hey, let's play Fargo, I would have to think about it.
is gonna be super. This is gonna be super good, guys. Yeah. We're all excited for you. Not for us so much as for you. Yep. All right. Ready? No. Okay. I'm radical honesty. This is a safe place. We know these people. I'm bringing my authentic self to this song. Okay. Fuck, don't do that, man. All right. I've been told I can't take my authentic self within 200 yards of a school, but I can bring it here. Okay. All right. Okay.
Singing with a mask, how's that?
Would not recommend. It was uncomfortable. It felt like I was like inflating and deflating a balloon every time I was breathing. But, no, would not recommend.
Singing with a mask on is awkward and challenging, only because it continuously wants to migrate down your face or up your face, and the inside is damp. It's real damp. I spit a lot when I sing. I didn't realize that until I had all that spit just pressed to my face.
You and me. No. All of us. Which one are you talking about? Just the new one that Chris, not the new one that sounds like Silkworm, not the new one that sounds like McCluskey. There you go. It's a little inside baseball there.
We don't have it written down.
Nope. We're like Fugazi in that way.
Yes.
All right.
So you're shipping out. How was this trip?
It was a blast. I made new friends. Good shows. I thought the turnouts were fun at them. Stuff broke. Stuff got fixed. Other than the unbearable heat, it's beautiful.
What'd you get from this tour?
You know, I think it was summed up really well. We were chatting with someone after the Madison gig, and they were like, man, I can't imagine being in a car with somebody for 8 hours and playing a gig and still wanting to hang with your bandmates afterwards. We haven't been able to do this in a really long time. Like shows here and there, yeah, but like, you know, Future Living hasn't been able to do any level of touring. You guys hadn't done anything for a while. It's the first time Straphanger had done things in like 5 years. So it's just like super positive in that regard. It just felt good to be able to do it. It felt positive to be out there and like make music with folks, and you know, like who doesn't want to say like, yeah, I went this weekend, yeah, I played in Fargo and Grand Forks. Like, it's absurd. It's absurd that that's anything that anyone would want to do, but it was awesome. Yeah.
But I get to watch Strap Hamburger and the Bismarck every day, so there's nothing wrong with that. No.
Yeah, would do again.
I like how you're doing this, like as if it's like post-game hockey.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the boys could have gotten out there a little harder, you know, and you know, produce a few more shots on net. You know, you got to do that. Probably should have cut the PMs down a little bit, but you know, the boys will take a little break, bounce back. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and you know, new game.
Yeah, so we decided we were going to take COVID tests because, I mean, Dan, honestly, we're taking COVID tests just because Future Living did it every single day, and we kind of feel bad that we haven't done it once.
We're celebrating the halfway point. We're just making sure that we're doing our due diligence as performing professional, diligent musicians, and we need something to do to kill some time.
So, Dan, before I forget and before this thread gets lost, you got to explain this album bracket thing that we're doing.
Yes, this is important. So, as a way to kill some time on the drives, and as a way to try to settle some long-standing arguments within the band about which album is better than which, etc. And yes, that album is bad, but is it worse than this other album? I thought I would create a bracket, basically a tournament of champions, and we would try to decide once and for all, using the votes of 3 people, which album is the worst album that I owned and listened to a lot in 1992. We got the first matchup is the Dead Kennedys' Frankenchrist versus the Dead Kennedys' Bedtime for Democracy. The second would be, I believe, it is Faith No More's Angel Dust versus Mr. Bungle's Mr. Bungle. The next bracket is Primus's Sailing the Seas of Cheese, and that is headed up against the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic. And finally, the last matchup is Lard's The Last Temptation of Reed versus Pigface's Fook.
I'm going to point out that there are 3 albums which I'll be offer on it. So, we got to mix those up in the rotation. We can't go from Dead Kennedys to Dead Kennedys straight to Lard. That would just be insane.
We must listen to all of these records in their entirety during this tour. We can skip songs, however, there's some criteria. We have to make it halfway through. And if we know that something extremely terrible or stupid is going to happen later in the song, we got to stick around for it. Like if Anthony Kiedis is going to rap, we're sticking around for it. We can't skip that. If he's going to do his sexy Mexican maid voice, we're listening to that part too. Scatting, we're definitely there. If Mike Patton does his, we're going to hear that part. The way this works is that the worst album, the worst of the 2 albums, advances to the next round.
I come from a very different high school record buying culture than the 2 of you. So I did not have these records. My bracket would probably include SOD versus MOD. Although the Red Hot Chili Peppers would also feature prominently. I'm not saying it's better, I'm just saying it's different.
And so we're going to listen to all of them and then decide why Mr. Bungle is the worst album that was ever made.
Okay, so we're being responsible and killing time. And so far, only Chris and Dan have been positive, so it might be a solo night for Eric.
I'm past my prime. This curb is trash. But thanks for trying. Happy birthday, DJ. Plastic time. Past my prime. Happy birthday, Jason. This curb is trash. I'm glad. Thanks for trying.
You're not going to do this just every 5 years, are you?
I hope not. It's been 25 years. I don't know if we might not be here in 5 years, right? So we should probably do it more frequently, just in case.
Hey, next, special thanks to the Bismarck for letting us tag along on our tour. I don't care what Isaac says about you guys. You're still a bunch of assholes.
It was great. We played with Bismarck, and there was y'all were incredible, obviously, and playing with Future Living from Kalamazoo. It was a really good series of just 4 short shows. I can't believe it's already over. Kind of wish we were playing some more with you guys. So it goes. It went well. And we had a lot of fun.
Thank you all very much. Bismarck is next.
Wizard listeners, this is WZRD Chicago. You are going to have a live band treat tonight. Bismarck. Take it away, Bismarck. On WZRD Chicago.
So the Bismarck, the band, yourselves have been around for 20 plus years.
20 now.
Yeah, we started practicing in 2002.
The catchphrase says the Bismarck being asked to turn down since 2002. Have venue owners told you turn that stuff down?
Yes.
Turn.
Stop. We've heard stop before.
We actually, in Butte, Montana, we were actually, after 2 songs, paid to stop.
Literally, they just walked up to you, I think, and they just handed him the money and patted him on the back and said, "Thanks for your service, but
please stop."
Yeah, please stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we stopped. To their,
they were nice about it. They're very, very
We
nice.
took the money, and then someone at the bar said we sounded like Iron Maiden.
Hey.
So where are we off to next?
We are playing at Monk's in Dubuque, Iowa, in about 10 hours. So we got some time to kill.
Let's do it again.
Yes, 100%.
I can't believe. Yeah, of course I'm saying that.
What? So Dan, what are we on for our bracket today?
Well, we're going to do more than one today because we got some time to make up. So we're starting off with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
And this was going up against what?
Primus, Sailing the Seas of Cheese. My prediction is that this album will, like Fook, be aggressively mediocre for the most part, but have maybe a few more, like, he's gonna rap at some point, I know it. So we're listening to Lard, and I'm experiencing something that I believe people call a moment of clarity. I don't think this album is good.
Wait, how many songs are we in now? 3?
Just 3, Eric. Just 3.
Okay.
He said spoon-sized shredded dreams.
Yeah, that's a lyric, man.
He said, may the farce be with you.
Oh, that's subversive right there.
Are we the baddies?
Feel free to hit that play.
Oh, here we go.
That's okay.
Drink off.
Should we get a sub?
Zach won't do it.
We got to determine what band is playing first. And everyone wants to play first because we all got to work in the morning. So we're having a chugging contest. Winner gets to play first.
Is Zach not going?
Zach is he has a gluten allergy. He can't chug it. It came up like 10 minutes ago.
1, 2, 3, go.
Ethan, you're already fucking up.
You gotta cut the balls.
Not a good move. Oh, damn.
Yeah, we all knew we were gonna do it.
So Dan, I think we're kind of almost close to the end of our bracket here.
We're down to the final 2 selections, and then we have a little bit of bookkeeping to complete the brackets. Our last 2 selections are Bedtime for Democracy which I think is a lot better than people give it credit for. We'll see if I'm wrong. I certainly was about lard. And then we have the number 1 seed for the tournament, which is Mr. Bungle by Mr. Bungle. And that album may be tough to listen to. It's only 10 songs, but it's like 73 minutes long.
I guess we have to start this up.
It's time.
So, on our bracket, where are we?
We only have one album left to listen to. We have completed the listening for Bedtime for Democracy. And that album was not as good as I remembered, because about 16 of the 21 songs are exactly the same.
I don't think we've decided if it's better or worse than Frankenchrist. I'm going to say probably, yeah, Bedtime for Democracy is better just because it doesn't have an extreme lows. I think we only skipped 2 songs, I think. At least the songs are mercifully short.
In a contest like this, you just have to succeed by being more mediocre than the next album. So it doesn't really have dizzying highs and it doesn't have really low lows, which I think makes it better than Frankenchrist. Although it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Frankenchrist advanced things worse. So we're all agreeing Bedtime for Democracy is better, but just by a hair.
Yes. Frankenchrist advances.
Yes.
In order to get fucking destroyed by Mr. Bungle.
Yeah. Yes. Chris, did you learn anything while listening to these Dead Kennedy songs?
I learned about a little drug called DMSO, which I'm very interested in now.
At what point in the Dead Kennedys did the other members of the band get tired of his silly song titles? He writes a song about how bad mainstream music is. And they're like, oh, that's cool. What's it called? Triumph of the Swill. And you know that they're just kind of like, they must have gotten real old real quick.
The pun titles are really a lot. Really a lot.
Oh, what's this song called? Rambozo the Clown. And do you laugh? Do you not laugh? Was that the breaking point, do you think, in the Dead Kennedys? They're not laughing at my silly song titles anymore. The band's over. That's it.
Rambozo the Clown, Triumph of the Swill. It's really dumb. It's really dumb. I thought Flesh Dunce was going to get a real big crack up.
Flesh Dunce, yeah. Did they just be like, oh, Jello. Final album that we're doing.
Yes. This is the last album. We've saved it for last because I am fairly convinced this is going to be the top of the bracket, the winner, if you will.
I have never listened to any Mr. Bungle. Ever.
You are in for a fucking treat.
It sounded like fucking stupid circus music bullshit, which I hated even in high school. And so I was convinced I would not care for it, and so avoided it.
So you've never listened to Mr. Bungle's Mr. Bungle?
Never.
Never listened to Mr. Bungle's Disco Volante?
Also never.
Never listened to Mr. Bungle's California?
No.
Song number 1, it was called Travolta, but you would know it as quote unquote. I mean, I think that the people who liked this album described it as death metal, circus music, funk, ska. And that is fucking hellish sounding. And I listened to this record a lot. Let's say easily 80 or 100 times probably. When I was in, junior high, high school. And I don't know what was wrong with me.
You were in junior high or in high school?
I was in junior high and high school. I was my mind was ready to be opened by death metal, circus music, funk, ska. And I think since then, my heart and mind have been closed off to death metal, circus music, funk, ska.
Last show of the tour is
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse. We'll see what happens. Of course, the big news is that we finished your bracket.
Results? We were right. We were right. That's the worst album. That's the worst album. Mr. Bungle by Mr. Bungle beat out The Last Temptation of Reed by Lard, and it was not close.
And here's the best part. Chris Jury had never heard this album at all. So then we had to make a firm no-skip rule and listen to it in its entirety. And I think at one point Chris said,
It was a potential war crime, Eric. Is it everything you remembered? And more. That is hateful, hateful music. Back in Rochester, post Lacrosse, which I think was the hottest show on the tour, temperature-wise. It was a sweaty mess.
I think the humidity was 98%, I looked at one point. So some air conditioning would have been nice. At the very least, maybe a fan next to the drummer. And no stage lights also would have been nice.
It was a big club that has been open since the early 90s. And so there's flyers for like Jesus Lizard and Silkworm and Shellac all over the place. And as you can imagine, a club that can support a show like that is rather empty when it came to a show like ours.
Crowd was very different than expected. It was a set of handsome young men playing with us. So they had a bevy of young women there to see them and only them. But they stuck around for us too, and they were very polite. So that was nice.
Someone gave him a bouquet of flowers and threw it up on the stage. And then they left it up there. So I just assumed they left it there for us. Probably me specifically, since that's where I was standing. But overall, great tour. Now we're heading home.
All right. How's that back? How's that?
Can't wait to do this again.
Yeah?
This is great. Absolutely great.
So what you know about it? 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 What you know about amphetamine to getting green, begging up whatever, trying to get a bit ahead of it. Looking for a little something, no I haven't readily. I'm popping scripts and dropping bottles, looking for a chicken head.
This is Chris's favorite part.
Yes.
Is tuning drums. I think we can all agree.
In the middle of the set, yeah, that's my favorite.
Everyone loves it. The only thing better, because you give me the snare. Yeah. Do you guys know the fist thing? It's like 7 people get that. That's fine. Most of you. All right.
I'm the king of this pimp shit. Popping with the block like I'm popping these prescriptions. Walking drugstores if you looking for a quick fix. You can hit my burner line, I'm chilling in the pit shit.
Check. Trailer park girls go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Two trailer park girls.
Motherfucker, what you think you know about me? Follow me, I'm a player, I'ma shoot at police. Cause I'm sick, I fillet 'em with the ease. Grab the keys to my ride, hop inside, now we exit the scene.
I sat on my keys before that last one.
Oh no!
Oh. That's why I was a little off.
Your mom puts license plates in your underwear? How do you sit?
Is this like recreational or what?
It's a thing.
That's recreational piece. What the fuck you know about being a real man? When I spit these sentences, everybody can feel them. Always had a tendency to verbally kill them. Beg a grab and take a pitch from me when I deal, yeah.
Eric, I have a question for you I've been wanting to ask for a long time. You have these twin projects of documentary filmmaking and then kind of punk rock, post whatever you call it, the band. both put out some pretty interesting creative things. If you had to pick one of the two, what would it be and why?
Oh no.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the band's been around for 20 years.
What you know about it? 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 What you know